Well, good evening once again, everybody, and welcome to the 2021 Crystal Apple Awards. We are glad to have you with us here tonight. The 18th annual banquet to recognize teachers, and oh, by the way, it is Teacher Appreciation Week. Right? Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. And we didn't even plan that. So we hope you enjoyed the dinner tonight. Courtesy of Hotel Marshfield, let's show them our appreciation for their great hospitality tonight. So tonight we are here celebrating almost 2 decades now of recognizing excellent teachers over these past 18 years. There have been more than 450 educators recognized as Crystal Apple Teachers of Distinction. Now, we have the pleasure of having several of these past Crystal Apple recipients and Teachers of Distinction with us here tonight. I would ask that they stand to be recognized. Let's hear it for these outstanding educators. Where are the past recipients? And thank you for supporting this year's award winners. We also welcome all of the friends, family, and colleagues of the teachers that we're honoring here tonight. So thank you for joining us in this celebration as well. This program is made possible basically because of the support of the participating school districts: Auburndale, Columbus Catholic, Branton, Greenwood, Marshfield, Neilsville, Pittsville, Spencer, Emmanuel Lutheran, and St. Joseph's Catholic Stratford. And new to this partnership is the Neilsville School District. And welcome, Neilsville, brand new. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, other special guests with us tonight include school board members, school principals, school administrators. We ask that those representatives please stand to be recognized at this time. Where are those principals? Obviously, our principals and administrators. You may not, but we do. All right, I give myself detention. All right. Comfortable detention. All right. And the support of many Marshfield area businesses, also vital to the success of this program. So we'd like to take a moment to recognize the sponsors and the partners who are in attendance tonight. So if you are here from one of the following companies, I'll get through them all and then we can applaud. But stand as I name your company. We ask that you stand and be recognized. Our presenting sponsor, Marshfield Clinic Health System. Our gold sponsors, Heinzen Printing and Promotional, our print sponsor. Media sponsors, WDLB Radio and Hub City Times. And Hotel Marshfield, host location sponsor. Silver sponsors, H&S Manufacturing, Mason Companies Incorporated, and Prevention Genetics. Our bronze sponsors, Forward Bank and Simplicity Credit Union. And our Friends of Education, Dental Clinic of Marshfield, First Choice Credit Union, Partners Bank, Sharon Helwig and Remax American Green Realty, Rice's Capital Carpet, Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, Staub Construction Corporation, and Total Electric Service. Let's hear it for our sponsors. Also, I would like to recognize another special guest with us tonight, State Representative from the 69th Assembly District, Donna Roser. Donna is with us tonight. Thank you for your support of agriculture. Thank you for your support of education, well, and agriculture, whatever else you support. Keep going? Okay. Lots of money for schools in the budget, right? We need the money, Donna. Go get us some money. A big pile of it. All right, shoot. All right, now, also, I want to recognize, I know of one, but are there any other students with us tonight? Students, stand. And the two students. Yes, two students. All right. Awesome. Love to see students here with us. All right, thank you, everyone. So the 2021 Crystal Apple program, it kicked off the first part of October. And because of COVID, that kickoff was a little different, completely virtual in 10 different school districts. A pre-recorded message was emailed to all the schools and then played in each classroom. Students were encouraged to complete a nomination for their favorite teacher. And gifts, sponsored by Marshfield Clinic Health System, were left at each school for distribution to teachers and support staff. By mid-October, the Marshfield Area Chamber Foundation's Partners in Educational Excellence and Workforce Development received a record 1,313 nominations for 347 different teachers. Wow, a record. That is pretty cool. Think about that. I mean, the people took the time to fill out that many, all those nominations. That's awesome. So once that process closed, an electronic ballot was created for teachers to vote on their top choices. A minimum of one teacher to represent each school. And those who were chosen are the Crystal Apple Teachers of Distinction that we recognize here tonight. Okay, so let's get ready with the recognition part of the program. At this time, I would ask Scott Larson, Mackey President, and Karen Isaacson, Mackey's Talent and Membership Director, to come forward to assist with awarding gifts to this year's Teachers of Distinction.
Let's get started with recognizing these Teachers of Distinction. Up first is Brooke Altman, who unfortunately was unable to attend. She is from Masonville Elementary. Alyssa Anderson, also unable to attend Pittsville High School. Jessica Colleton. Jessica has been teaching for 6 years and currently teaches 4th grade. She fosters a growth mindset and promotes the importance of learning, respect for others in the classroom, and through the school. So let's give a hand. Next is Michelle DeCandia. Michelle has been an educator for 11 years, with the last 5 at Marshfield Middle School, where she teaches English. She believes in giving all young adolescents ages 10 to 15 years of age the tools to succeed in a stimulating setting, which is crucial to their fundamental growth. Michelle. Ruth Fleischman. Ruth has been teaching math for 26 years at Columbus Catholic Schools. She is able to quickly identify how each student learns best and works with those who are struggling. She epitomizes what it means to be a professional educator. Next is Amber Golden. Amber has taught for 11 years, with the last 6 at Auburndale High, where she teaches English to 7th and 8th graders. Connections, communication, and mindfulness are all 3 key areas she incorporates in her teaching and coaching, and has learned that they are the most valuable part of the day. Brad Helston. Brad has been teaching for 18 years, with the last 13 of them at Greenwood High School, where he teaches math. He is a credit to the education profession with his child-centered instructional style, work ethic, and energy. His philosophy is to change or impact the lives of those he teaches so they can be successful in the future. Thank you, Brad. Brittany King. Brittany has taught for 8 years, with the last 6 at Grant Elementary, where she teaches physical education. She helps students learn and understand the value of physical, social, and emotional health by caring for their bodies with movement and shows them how to physical activity can help them mentally as well. She's a team player who continually goes the extra mile to help. Thank you, Brittany. Amber Krapadowski, unfortunately was unable to attend tonight. Kathleen Mahoney, also unfortunately unable to attend tonight. Next then is Lindsay Meyer. Lindsay has been a kindergarten teacher at Emmanuel Lutheran School for the past 4 years. She is always willing to learn or lend a hand and try new things to enhance her skills as an educator. Her greatest accomplishment is when she sees her students' faces light up with excitement because they are curious about exploring and learning new things every day. Congratulations. Ann Pangratz. Ann has taught first grade at Spencer Elementary for 34 years. Ann is described as compassionate, innovative, creative, fun-loving, professional, drive and caring. She knows each student has their own set of strengths and areas of growth, and this helps them find success. And along the way, Ann provides explicit directions and examples to help each child find their best path for learning. Congratulations, Ann. Next, Julie Plotz. Julie has been an elementary educator for 26 years, with the last 2 at Greenwood Elementary, where she teaches first grade. Julie makes learning fun, exciting, engaging, yet rigorous. Her kids always come first, and she embraces change to maximize the learning opportunities for her students. Congratulations, Julie. Next, we'd like to recognize Christine Schwalbach. Unfortunately, if you're not aware, Christine recently passed away. Christine was an educator for 20 years, with the last 15 of them at Lincoln Elementary, where she taught 4th grade. She was dedicated, conscientious, and an effective educator who was goal-oriented and self-evaluative. She was a valuable asset at Lincoln Elementary and is missed every day. On behalf of the family, let's first take a moment of silence, if we could. We'd like to announce tonight on behalf of the family that a Christine Schwalbach Memorial Scholarship has been established and will be awarded annually to 2 graduating seniors who enroll in a 4-year post-secondary institution to pursue a degree and a career in the teaching profession. 2 $500 scholarships will be awarded each year. All right, next is Deanne Steinwagner. Deanne has been an educator for 30 years, with the last 10 of them at Washington Elementary, where she teaches 2nd grade. She believes students learn best when they feel welcomed, comfortable, and safe. Many changes have occurred during her teaching career. However, the students' needs for feeling safe, wanting to continue to learn and grow, and recognizing that their teacher truly cares for them hasn't changed. Congratulations, Deanne. Next, Taylor Varshall. Taylor teaches special education at Marshall High School, where she has been for the last 2 years of her 4-year career. Taylor is a student-centered teacher with a deep passion for helping students reach their full potential. The memories made empower her to be the best person she can be, so her students strive towards their achievements and growth. Next is Gina Walsh. Gina has been teaching for 7 years, with the last 2 at Madison Elementary, where she teaches special education. She believes all students can learn, and it's her job to provide them with the tools needed to achieve that goal. She tailors individualized and unique learning goals to each of her students so they can succeed. Her ultimate goal is to help prepare them to be good, kind in the community. Congratulations, Judy. Next is Daisy Warner, unfortunately unable to attend. Ryan Westaby, also unable to attend, but we certainly want to recognize them. Then next, Danielle Wilkie. Danny has taught special education for 10 years, with 4 of them at Marshfield Middle School. She's an advocate for students and teaches them how to advocate for themselves by creating independent learners when setting high expectations. She's the epitome of student-centered teacher that always has the best interests of students in mind. Congratulations. And next, let's welcome Jennifer Wilkie. Jenny has been an educator for 8 years at Spencer Middle School, where she teaches grade 6 math and grade 7 science. She has a gift to maintain a level of engagement with all students and values respect, honesty, and hard work. She believes when students are able to take risks and feel safe to do so, the reward becomes that much bigger for each student. Congratulations. All right, let's take a moment then and let's please congratulate again, once again, all of our teachers of distinction.
All right, so now we move on to the next phase of the program, and as the selection process moved forward, recommendations from school principals were provided, and the teachers of distinction submitted a personal statement describing their education philosophy. And so the final step occurred in February when the teachers of distinction virtually met with a selection panel comprised of a group of leaders from area businesses who place a high value on an educated workforce. Now, the final selection was based on teachers' expertise, innovation, and leadership. The work of the selection panel, I can tell you, is extremely difficult, not only because of the time spent reviewing, evaluating, and interviewing, but because every single one of these teachers truly demonstrates educational excellence. And I can personally tell you, we had some very, very tough decisions to make in selecting only 4 winners. I didn't bring the score sheet with me. I was going to, but I think, I don't know, the other panel members can help me out. I think we had 16 or 17 of the 24 teachers within like a 1.5 or something, or 2 points of the top. I mean, we're talking hundreds of points. It's amazing. This year's class was very difficult. We had some tough decisions to make, and so we're just honored to have so many great teachers in this area, and pleased to have members of the selection team in attendance, so you can throw stuff at us if you don't like the results. All right, that's why we gave up the heavy, or the hardware first. So I want to take a moment to recognize some of my colleagues on that selection panel. Stand when I call your name. Melissa Breen, Marshfield Clinic Health System. I don't think she could make it. Michelle Bornke, UWSP at Marshfield. I know Michelle is here. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Dr. Alex Lindved, Mid-State Technical College, is with us tonight. Chris Leonard, Hub City Times. Not with us tonight, Dr. Diane Allingham Hawkins from Prevention Genetics. Also not able to make it, Sarah Arnoldy, Simplicity Credit Union. And Corey Lotterell from Hotel Marshfield could not be with us either tonight. But Thank you for your commitment to education. How about a round of applause for this selection committee? And thank you once again for serving on that selection panel. So, now it is time to meet this year's Crystal Apple Award recipients. I will make mention of, as we go into the first one, you'll see videos. And I want to make mention of this as we honor our first recipients. The music in the background of this first video is provided by the recipient's principal, Mario Friedel. Enjoy.
I'm Mario Friedel, and I'm the principal at St. Joseph's School in Stratford. And I'm here to verify all the excellent qualities of Christy. She's quite an amazing person. She's a hardworking teacher. Probably the thing that stands out the most for me is her leadership skills and ability. I came on board late in August, and they didn't have a principal, and so when I came in, I was only available to come in on a part-time basis. So she had been keeping the school together, putting all the COVID guidelines in place, organizing all the teachers all on her own time, on her own good nature and her willingness and her dedication to the school. And so being able to come on board on a part-time basis and having someone like that who has that level of leadership and dedication is just the dream of all principals. And she deserves an award because she, without asking for anything, she just voluntarily came in and provided that kind of leadership and direction and confidence to the teachers, who were also feeling a little ill at ease not having a principal. And so me having known her now just since August, I know that her reputation, she has a great reputation in the community and in the school. She's been dedicated for years to Catholic education, and I don't really know what more I could say about her other than I'm just probably wouldn't be able to do this job on a part-time basis if it were not for Christy Bankert.
I'm Jenny Warner, and I've worked with Christy Bankert for the past 14 years. When I moved here from Milwaukee, she was very comforting and welcoming to me. She helped me acclimate to a new school. I taught pre-K and kindergarten, and she taught first and second grade. So our classes were right next to each other, so we would share ideas and do things together. We do Easter egg hunts together. We do field trips together. 100 Day of School celebration we do together, Dr. Seuss's birthday. So we do many things together. She's very helpful, caring, and supportive. I'm not very tech savvy, so she helps me when I need help with my smartboard or computer things or technology things. She's very helpful with that. She runs our accelerated reader for our school. We're very close as a family here at St. Joseph's School, and so she's very helping to help anyone and to keep our school going and prosperous. She's very generous to her classroom students and to the school and to us teachers. She sometimes puts little treats in her mailbox for different holidays and things like that. So she's always just very, very cheerful, happy person, and a great person to be around. I feel she deserves this award because she's worked very hard. She helped keep our school together when our principal left at the end of June, and we were kind of an interim without a principal before our new one was hired, and she stepped aboard and went to all the COVID meetings and anything that had to be done to get our school up and ready for working this fall, and kept us safe so that when we did open that we could keep things going. And she's just been very supportive and a great asset to our school.
Christy, come on up. Congratulations.
Set this down because I've been known to be clumsy. All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the Marshall Chamber of Commerce for organizing this wonderful event, recognizing all of you wonderful teachers out there. I am honored to have been selected a Crystal Apple Award recipient and congratulate the other 3 winners. Teachers are passionate about teaching their students to love learning and are all deserving of distinction for choosing the profession. There are many who have helped shape me into the teacher and person I am today. First and foremost are my parents. I have learned hard work and perseverance growing up on a dairy farm where I had the wonderful opportunity to raise rabbits and partake in FFA when I was in high school. I learned the concept of financial responsibility and working for what I have. I wouldn't be able to afford to continue on my wonderful journey of being a teacher if it wasn't for their financial guidance. My parents were my greatest advocates and encouraged me to never give up on my dreams. Their love was and is unconditional, and I hope they know what that means to me. A special thank you to my mom, who's not here tonight, she's watching my children, for helping me set up my classroom every year and for taking the time to work on special projects with me. Second, my siblings, for always letting me be the teacher when we played school. Thank you for always being there for me and supporting me along the way, especially when they needed help with their homework. Thank you to my sister, who is one of my closest friends and helped me in my classroom from time to time before she started her own career, then I lost her. Third, my college professors and advisors. Sometimes they would ask, "Can you see the big picture?" And at that time, I wasn't sure. I sure can now, as you do not get the full experience when you're just in college. These role models helped guide me to earn my degree. My first obstacle, though, took place in the fall of 2000, while I was student teaching middle school social studies. I developed a pinched nerve in my back and needed surgery. I barely made it through the remainder of the school year, but I'm a fighter, and I fought through the pain, and I made it to my ultimate goal. My cooperating teacher at the time was amazing, and he saw my dilemma, and helped convince Viterbo, where I went to school at the time, I was deserving of this degree. I did work extremely hard through all of college's distractions, and I made it through graduation and graduated with a bachelor's degree in elementary education, grades 1 through 6. I was one happy young lady at that time, and my passion and journey was just beginning. Fourth, the amazing staff members, both past and present, at St. Joseph Catholic School. I believe God has chosen me for this amazing path opportunity. I'm guided by His love and devotion every day. I started my career at St. Joseph's School back in November 1st, when school already had started, 2001, just after September 11th. I had 12 wonderful first graders that first year who I instantly fell in love with. At that time, I also had some wonderful coworkers, and their names were Lynn, Janet, Kathy, Julie, and Peggy. And they helped me get through that first year of starting when the school year had already started. I thank them and will never forget them for guiding me, modeling their effective teaching methods and techniques. There have been some obstacles and challenges along the way, but I sought advice and learned from them all. In addition, our support staff was amazing. So please take the time to thank your support staff, as they have been my guiding light in our school. 20 years later, I'm still where I call my second home. And some of my wonderful coworkers are with me today who will continue on my path and their path and have taught me so many wonderful things. Fifth, My students who have all meant a lot to me in so many different ways. Without them, I wouldn't be the teacher I am today. I have learned so much in the last 19 to 20 years. College definitely doesn't teach you these things. Hugs and high fives help a teacher get through a very tough day. God has given me the gift of seeing them each and every day at school. Reading has always been a passion of mine, even before I became a teacher, and helping them to read is my ultimate goal. And when they leave my classroom, my ultimate goal is to help them move on to the next grade level and being able to read. It's amazing how my first group of students are getting married and having children of their very own. I love when I can visit with a former student and they share a story about their life or the days when they were in elementary school when I see them in the community. And last but not least, my husband, Tony, the love of my life, is here with me today. And like I said, my children, Thomas and Morgan, are at home with my parents. My family has supported me while I attend many meetings, events in the community, while planning lessons at home, correcting papers, creating projects, or even just going to bed early because I need to. Thank you for your moral support, your hugs, asking if I'm okay, and loving me even on my bad days. I have had both my children in my classroom. It has been a challenge and a privilege at the same time. Teachers, you are my biggest inspiration. You are essential in supporting positive outcomes for our students. You provide service for every learning level. You are always collaborating and communicating with others to provide the best education to all students. In my classroom, I'm always differentiating instruction for my students. I'm always collaborating with other teachers and parents. We all wish the day was longer, but we do the best we can with the time we are given. Thank you, teachers, for collaborating and communicating with each other and other support staff and parents. Thank you for making a difference in our students' lives. We have had many parents and grandparents at our wonderful school who have volunteered to listen to our students read in our Accelerated Reader program. I am amazed at the difference this program makes. Students read, then take a comprehensive test. The students love to read to our volunteers because many of them bring humor when they come. COVID has caused us to not be able to bring volunteers into our classroom this year. With reading being a passion of mine, that doesn't stop, even if we don't have volunteers. Seeing the faces of my students as they use reading clues to figure out a word, that aha moment, is the best. And I normally get to share this with the community and will continue in the future. Thank you to all teachers for helping your students with those aha moments. My speech could go on as I took on a new role as head teacher this past school year, and I also started to teach middle school language arts a few days a week. We call our current principal Coach, and that is just what he does for everyone at our school. He is a great advocate of all of us at school. He has our backs as teachers. I really thought I had the big picture this year, but as teachers, we're always growing and changing that big picture. Thank you for choosing me, and I will keep putting my best foot forward. Thank you to my amazing school and my community for all of your love, support, and for allowing me to continue to do the job that I love. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Christy, and nice music, Coach. Not bad. You wrote that, right? Okay, excellent job. Okay, let's hear it for Coach. All right, let's meet our next Crystal Apple Award winner. Are we ready to meet him? Let's do it.
The reason why I like Mr. Gross because he's generous, he's sweet, and he knows how to have fun in class. And he has fun. He takes the kids outside, gets some fresh air, let them have a mass break. And he does a lot of fun things, and that's why they like Mr. Gross.
What I like about Mr. Gross is that he's nice, funny, and creative.
Mr. Mark Gross is a fantastic teacher, a great person. I've known him for 8 years here at the elementary school in Auburndale, and he continues every day to just make history come alive for his students. And his curiosity and questioning and making students challenge themselves beyond any realm is just awesome. And he gets them so excited. So we're very fortunate to have Mark's talents and his expertise here at school. And for many kids, he's made lives amazing for them, and history comes alive. Congratulations, Mark, and keep up the great work.
I'm Steve Voss, and I've taught at Auburndale for 32 years with Mark. And Mark just has a great sense of humor and a positive attitude that he brings to school every day. And that's infectious throughout the building, and especially in his classroom. He instills a positive attitude in kids, and he makes learning fun. And when kids come to school, they know that they have the attitude, I can learn, instead of I can't do something. And Mark, no matter what the level of the kid is, Mark brings out the best in them, and he makes them feel successful.
Paddock. I've known Mark Gross for about 25 years. I first got to know Mark back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I really got to know Mark back in the late 90s, early 2000s, coaching baseball together. For the last 2 years, though, we've actually talked together on the 5th grade team. Mark deserves the Crystal Apple Award because he is an excellent teacher and a great communicator. He's always looking for new ways to actively engage his students, and he holds them accountable for their learning. Whether he's teaching or coaching, Mark wants the very best for his students, and he makes every effort to help them succeed. So congratulations, Mark.
All right, Skipper, you're up. Mr. Mark Gross, everybody.
Volunteer, fastball, what do you want? Or just fine? There you go. Thank you. Wow, this is pretty amazing. I mean, sitting in a room with so many talented people. I'm going to start off, I'd like to thank the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce and Industry for honoring all teachers, all of us here today, for the efforts that we put into our classroom. Teachers everywhere, this year especially more so, have worked long hours and late nights and weekends trying to do the best they can for their students and to help them learn in their classrooms. Winning this award is truly a prestigious thing. It just, like I said, I look around and I think, wow, so many amazing people here. That's just a credit to, to me, but to all of you because of the work we put in. I have kind of a list of things, so if you just kind of sit still with me a little bit. I was thinking today and last week's about, how when we show up at something like this and we're honored, like how are we honored in other ways? And, I was thinking sometimes it's a smile, you touch base with a kid, and just a smile, they smile back at you. Sometimes it's, just a thank you. And I know sometimes it doesn't seem like much, but it really is. And, sometimes more on a literal level, we're looking at a test score or an assignment, and you know that you're doing something right when the test score comes back, with an A or a B, or that you can see you've taught something. A good friend of mine, he's a principal from Mosinee, Brad Gruby, if you know him, but he talked to me 2 months ago, and he says, Mark, what you got to think about is the end of the road. What do you want? Where do you see your kids? And it's that they're become productive adults and they're good people in society. And he goes, think about it, because he mentioned a name. He said, what? He was a doctor, and he's a lawyer, and he's an engineer, and he's a farmer. And all those things are really amazing things. But if they're just people that work hard and contribute, that's probably the most important thing. Now, I want to take just a second and brag a little bit, but I don't know if it's really bragging. It's kind of like a blind squirrel finding a nut. But so right over here, Amber, put your hand up. So I've been around. This is my 32nd year of teaching, and she was in one of my homerooms 25 years ago. So I'm not really passing on your age, But that's a pretty cool thing that I'm sitting here and she's being honored because she was a great student and a great teacher. That's pretty cool. Little Auburndale, been there 32 years. And in that time, I coached a professional football player, Mark Tauscher, which is kind of crazy. I didn't even coach him in football, I coached him in basketball. And he was really good in basketball. He won a state championship for us. Also, in my homeroom, I had Jordan Zimmerman, and I coached him in baseball. And, you know, when I think about those two things, you know, those are really important things, but again, so are the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers, the farmers, and all that, you know, because it's kind of like an equal deal. But being in a little town and having two professional athletes come through, that's almost unheard of. I do have a little story I want to tell you about. And my wife, she's the one that said, she said, you have to tell this story because it's a great story, and I think it is. But 32 years ago, the very first day I taught in Auburndale, I was subbing, and I was in way over my head. It was second grade. And I can't even begin to, you know, some people aren't cut out for second grade. One day I subbed in kindergarten, I don't want to get into it. But I had a kid in my class, his name was Lauren. And I'll never forget that kid because he haunted me for years and years. But when I was subbing, I was 22 years old. And I was not the same person I am now. And I think like now, in that time, when I showed up to sub that day, school started at 8 o'clock, and I showed up about 7:55. And I just can't imagine doing that. You know, you got to get attendance, you got to figure out where your class is, what you're teaching. It was, you know, just the beginning of a train wreck. But anyways, I got into the second grade class, and Lauren comes up to me and he says, hey, Mr. Brooks, the Marshfield Fair, we just had it this weekend. He says, I got this licorice rope I got, and he goes, I want to share it with the class. And I said, okay, Lauren, you know what? We'll share it with the class, but just give me a second. I got to take attendance. I got to figure out what I'm teaching. I have no idea what's going on. Just give me a second. Okay, so Lauren went and sat down. Well then, I don't know, it seemed like a second later, he's back and he's tugging on me. Mr. Brooks, this licorice rope, can I give it? Can I hand it out? I want to hand it out right now. I said, Lauren, just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'm 22 years old. I'm trying to put things together myself. And anyways, all of a sudden he comes back and he says, Mr. Brooks, this licorice rope, can we hand it out right now? I said, all right. I took it. I was right about it. I got to do it right now. So he brings out this licorice rope, and that puppy's about 6 foot long. It's like, well, I know, you know, sometimes they sell stuff like that that's, you know, different. So anyways, I took the licorice rope, and I thought, wow, you know, licorice gets kind of hard. It's kind of hard. So I thought, well, how am I going to do this? I got 15 kids, and I took a scissors, and I went boom, 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 right down the line. And I said, well, here's the extra piece. It was like 1.5 feet long. He says, you keep it. I said, well, I love licorice. So I put it on my desk, and anyways, I handed out that licorice to all the kids. And anyway, they sat down. I started getting organized. What am I going to do for reading and stuff? And anyways, one kid comes up to Mr. Brooks. He goes, this licorice is really hard. I said, well, you know, sometimes it gets dried out. I said, just, you know, suck on it a little bit. It'll get softer, you know, it'll be better. All of a sudden, another kid comes up and goes, I can't chew this licorice. So I grabbed the licorice and I started biting on it. God, it was a jump rope. And, oh my God, it was crazy. You know? 6 foot jump rope. But it was red, at least I got that right. So, anyways, that kid, he was the neatest kid. I mean, he was smart, he came from kind of a different family where he struggled a little bit. But I had him in 4th grade, and then I had him in 5th grade, and he was one of the neatest kids I ever had. But, like I said, he haunts me. that kind of, after that day, it kind of made me appreciate the fact that, you know, if I was gonna do this job, I'd have to bring my A game, not my C game. And so with that in mind, I kind of have a couple things down that I always try to do in my classroom that helps me become a better teacher. One is to try to bring passion and energy to my classroom. One of the things that my wife says that drives her crazy is my passion and energy, because I'm always doing stuff. And I'm like, ready to go, ready to do this. And she said, I just kind of drive her crazy because I do that. But I think that's really important teaching. You know, every day when you're with kids, it's about getting them excited about what you're doing. And I don't know, I know sometimes it's hard to make that happen, and you can't do it every day, but you certainly can try, and it works for me. A second thing I wanted to mention was demanding and expecting effort. And in the last couple of years, that's gotten to be harder and harder, just because, I don't know, our kids sometimes have gotten lost a little bit in the way and wanting something more, willing to compete for something. So in my classroom, we're always playing games. And I don't know, maybe people disagree, but I always say it is important to win. It's very important to win. Because if you can win here, you can win somewhere else, and you want to win. You want to be successful. Now, it's not win at all costs. You know, it's about sportsmanship and those types of things, but I try to teach all my kids that you have to want to be successful. You want to be the best, because it's going to help them in anything they do later in life. A third thing, making learning fun and being willing to try new things. Was it 4 years ago, Mr. Delacusta, when we started Chromebooks? Was it 4 or 5 years ago? 5 years. 5 years ago. Anyways, I'm kind of old school, and I'm kind of happy that the guys that I work with aren't here tonight, because they would call me old school. But I was scared about starting those Chromebooks out. And at first I started out, and I didn't quite get it. But then I started working with it more, and I got better and better and better. And I've just come to the point that it's a lot of fun, and it's cool, and it really engages kids. But it also makes me think of the fact that all teachers, you can't be scared to try new things. You gotta get outside the box and do these things. One of the things I did about the last 3 weeks, Mr. Scherenbach's he's watching all of our recesses, and our kids are walking outside with hockey sticks. And we were going out to the school forest. We were doing American Revolutionary War battle reenactments. Well, that was their guns. So it was hockey sticks. And, you know, we were doing surprise attacks and showing how, you know, the Patriots followed the British back towards Lexington and then back to Boston. And some of the kids that, you know, haven't been very motivated got really excited about it. And kids were doing cartwheels and diving on the ground, and I don't know. But that's kind of a cool thing too, is just to get your kids into it and get them motivated. The fourth thing that I wanted to mention is something that's very, very close to my heart. And so when I say this, it's 2 boys that I have. I had in my classroom 7 years ago, and I'm in touch with them all the time. Their last name, they're Jared and Jordan Anderson. And it's kindness and empathy. It's teaching kids that you can be kind, and you can be good friends, and you can be compassionate, and you can be willing to listen to your friends. Jared and Jordan Jared has 2 sticks that he walks on. He's has a handicap, disability, and Jordan's in a wheelchair. And those 2 boys worked harder than any kids I had in any of my classes. And having them in class, they made me a better teacher, made me a better person, but it helped everybody in my room be better people too, you know? And so I use those 2 boys as examples. It's like, well, how do you teach energy? How do you teach effort? And how do you teach empathy and compassion? I don't have an answer to that, but I do have an answer in the fact that I use those 2 boys as examples all the time. And when I get a chance to pull out other kids and use them as examples, positive examples, I think it works. And it's a chance to be successful, at least on some level. Anyways, winning this award is, again, it's for everyone because we all put in effort and we do the best we can for our kids. Being nominated by the students of Auburndale, the parents of Auburndale, the administration, the teachers, it's just a tremendously gratifying thing. Auburndale has been a great place for me to live and be around, and the people of the community have pulled me in and made me part of their town, and it's just been a wonderful place to work. My two boys are here, and I appreciate you being here. Nate's girlfriend Brittany too, I appreciate that. My wife, she is truly the love of my life, and she helps decorate my room. She helps me correct work. It's kind of like when you were talking, I was thinking the same thing, you know. But I know some nights, like I coach basketball. I coach boys basketball, girls basketball, and I used to coach baseball. But this year especially, I'll come home from school and I'll go to practice or I'll come home from a game and it's like, then I'll sit down and start correcting. There's my wife sitting in the corner bored again, you know. So I appreciate that so much. But anyways, that's it. Thank you for listening to me ramble. And again, thanks to the Mackey organization for honoring all of us tonight. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Coach. Such a great basketball coach that Mark became a football player.
Drove it right out of it.
I drove him right out of the sport of basketball. Awesome job. And remind Jordan he owes me $10, by the way, when you see him. All right, let's meet our next winner.
Congratulations, Jody. I know how hard you work. You deserve this.
Congratulations, Mom, on how much you love your job. Congratulations, Mom. I know how important it is to teach kids how to read.
Mrs. Moore is really nice. I like when she reads stories. I like Mrs. Moore because she is kind, she is generous, she helps us. Mrs. Moore is funny and she meets nice people and I like her jokes. I like Mrs. Moore because she dresses up in these funny costumes for dress-up days, and she sings really funny songs. I think Mrs. Moore is a great teacher because she makes learning way more fun.
Mrs. Moore leaves a lasting impression with her love of teaching. Her students learn from her character and behaviors as much as they do from her instruction. And she fosters a love of reading through great adventures. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a member of the SSDA, the Super Secret Detective Agency, to figure out how to read? It's great fun. I can't think of a more deserving teacher. Congratulations, Mrs. Moore.
Jody is a wonderful teacher. She shows kindness in everything that she does. She's caring and compassionate. Her students just connect with her. Her room is a calm place to be, and she has unique ways of teaching her content to the students that make it fun for them. I really enjoy working with Jody, and she deserves this. Congratulations, Jody.
I knew before the school year started, when I met Jody for the first time, that she was going to be an amazing mentor, and that has proven to be true. Jody's such a great leader and role model in the school for all of the students and all of the teachers. She's so passionate about learning and about teaching, and it really shines through if you step foot into her classroom. Her enthusiasm and her engaging lessons make the students feel like they're not even learning because they're always having so much fun, and she just makes everything so exciting for them. Her passion for reading and for teaching also really shines through and gets passed on to her students. I know that books were one of the first things that they made sure went on the list of what they wanted for their classroom. I'm very proud of Jody for this accomplishment that she has achieved, and I couldn't be more proud to have such a great coworker and friend.
From the moment that I first met Jody, I knew that I wanted to be just like her. Not only because she's an amazing teacher, but because she is an amazing person. I am so thankful that I get to have her as my teaching partner, and I get to learn from her and grow from her because she is so enthusiastic, and her passion for teaching shows in everything that she does in her classroom. Her students are here for her because they love to learn, and they love to learn from Mrs. Moore. She is so positive and always sees the best, and she wants her students to succeed, and she does that every single day. I'm happy and honored to work with Jody, and I am so thankful to share this career with such an amazing person, and nobody deserves this more than her. Congratulations, Jody.
When I think of a first grade classroom, I picture this magical place filled with students learning at high levels, students engaged in their work, having fun together, all while being inspired by a teacher who is kind, caring, and respectful. That teacher is Mrs. Moore. She uses a variety of instructional strategies to meet the needs of all the learners in her class. But the children love when she sings, dances, and dresses up as characters in their favorite stories. Who wouldn't love a teacher dressed as Piggy going to a party, Pinkalicious, or Pete the cat? Jody does those things because she loves her students, she loves what she does, and she loves stories. You should be in her classroom during a read aloud. Her children are actively engaged. She encourages them to ask questions, make personal connections, find the details in pictures. The enthusiasm in those first graders is truly amazing. Jody knows how to foster the love of reading. As a staff member, Jody's high level of professionalism makes her a valuable asset to the district leadership team. She keeps us driven, focused. She asks us the right questions. She's also a teacher leader when it comes to implementing Lucy Calkins' units of study. I appreciate the time and dedication Jody puts into improving instructional practices, not only at the school level, but the district level as well. On behalf of everyone here in Pittsville, Jody, we are proud of you. You are so deserving of this award. Congratulations.
And we'd like to share with you ways we can show our patriotism.
I say the Pledge of Allegiance every day at school.
That's me!
So Friday is pick a book, any book, choose your favorite character, and give yourself a unique look. Keep in mind, you can think about this two ways. You could literally pick your favorite book. Like, this is my very favorite book in the whole world. Jingle Bells. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Ha, ha, ha!
Congratulations, Jody. I appreciate your organization and your willingness to do whatever it takes to make our school a better place.
Congratulations, Jody. What an amazing gift of literacy that you give all of your students.
Congratulations, Jody. You are an amazing team player, always looking out for others. Your love of reading and books is contagious. And when it comes to your students, you are always going the extra mile, making sure everyone is successful.
Congratulations, Jody. I appreciate how you are so positive with your students every day and how you teach your love of reading that shows through to everybody. Congratulations.
All right, Pinkalicious. Come on down. And congratulations for getting every district staff member to do a testimonial. Did we miss anybody? My goodness. All right. Jody Moore, everybody.
I am overwhelmed with big emotions.
My heart is so full, it might come right out my eyeballs or maybe even make my voice crack a little, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm just trying to soak up all these amazing feelings. First and foremost tonight, my goal is to show thanks and appreciation for this humbling recognition. I mean, right from that video, that's enough to keep your heart going for years and years. I want to thank the Pittsville students, even though they're not here tonight, because they really do make teaching so enjoyable. I also want to say thanks to my first grade teaching team and to the whole primary hallway at PES, because their positive energy truly touches every child, every person in our hallway, and I think it's really a great place to work and to learn. Enough thanks cannot be said to the Crystal Apple program and the Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce for this amazing recognition program that continues year after year for this wonderful evening of celebration, not just of 4 teachers, but of all teachers and amazing teachers in our community. And for the positive attention that this program brings to the importance of education and to the teachers in our community. So thank you. These are some of the craziest years we've ever seen in education. So my second and my last goal tonight is for a little reflection. COVID teachers literally have been doing whatever it takes to make the learning continue. I am proud that Pittsville School District continued with daily instruction last spring when schools shut down. At times, that task seemed impossible. Some of those times included when we had one day to prepare for this new kind of virtual teaching, or when our new responsibilities included connecting with students or families anytime, day or night, when they might be learning, or when we were writing end-of-the-year report cards, wondering how much parent help was really involved in those virtual student assessments. I'm thankful for Pittsville's administrative team, who recognized this fall that teaching in person while teaching distance learners was very time-consuming. That teachers were striving to produce high-quality lessons in both educational settings, but were stretched very thin. Looking back, I feel that we, not just teachers, but maybe the world, were taught or reminded of a few life lessons to treasure. The pandemic has turned our lives upside down and changed not just the way we live and work, but how we think and how we behave. We need social interaction and contact. Having students in our classrooms every day makes learning more impactful and more engaging. And that teachers are essential. We know that anyone can teach a child, a parent, a sibling, grandparents, caregivers, but an expert in developmental ranges and curriculum and instructional resources can really make a difference. And we call those experts teachers. And we can be incredibly flexible. The pandemic has been a time of extraordinary change. Teachers have had to rapidly change and adapt to the evolving situation. Our ability to be flexible and creative in the face of uncertainty during this tech boom in education is nothing but inspiring. Distance teaching requires teachers to focus on essentials. When teachers focus on essentials, those essential skills or essential standards that need to be taught and learned, this has refined our practices in many ways. We also appreciate the small things in life just a little more. We're grateful for what we have, including schools being open, access to reliable internet, or even just the basics. In closing, regardless of where you find yourself, chances are this year has challenged you in several ways, perhaps some even unimaginable. We only really need to embrace these life lessons that we've learned along the way. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jody. Who are you now?
I'll be elephant now.
Oh, she's elephant now. Okay. It changes fast and you sometimes don't know when it changes, so you gotta be careful. All right, congratulations, Jody Moore, Panther Power, yeah. Are we ready to meet our fourth and final Crystal Apple Award recipient?
Hi, I'm Jonah Zashke, a senior from Neilsville High School. Mrs. Stanley is an excellent teacher who makes class interesting and engaging by doing an outstanding job helping her students connect their coursework to real-world applications. By incorporating different teaching methods, especially hands-on learning, she makes sure no students are left behind. Mrs. Stanley is more than just a teacher to her students, caring as much about their personal lives as their grades and getting to know them on a personal level. She has inspired many students, including myself, to pursue their passions in science-related fields. If anyone is deserving of this award, it would be Miss Stanley. Thank you for being dedicated to improving the lives of your students.
Hello everybody, my name is Marcy Quincy, and I have worked with Randy for approximately 19 years. She's also one of my best friends here at Neilsville. She's an inspiration to both staff and students. She's always willing to try new things and incorporate those in her lessons. She builds really strong relationships with students that make them want to do well in her classes, and they want to attend her classes. Congratulations, Randy. I'm so very, very proud of you.
My name is Mark Brummer. I am the science teacher at Neilsville High School. I am the other science teacher, and I have to put up with Randy Stanley on a daily basis. Quite honestly, she's a fantastic teacher. She's wonderful to collaborate with. If I have any questions, she's always there to answer those questions. She is such a strong inspiration to all the students here at the high school and those that have graduated. She is the best at technology. She's gone to an online platform for all of her teaching. The kids know enough to get out their Chromebooks almost immediately. And quite honestly, she's gotten to the point where she's made me step up my game as a teacher to become better at what I do.
I am so honored to share a few things about my friend and coworker, Randy Stanley. I actually had to make a list because I didn't want to forget any of the great qualities that she possesses and that we are so lucky to get to work with every day. So here are some qualities about Randy that make her the perfect recipient for this award. She's a mentor. She's a mentor to all of us teachers. She's a mentor to her students. She's an excellent role model. She is a confidant. When you have a question about how to handle any situation, you can go to her, and she's just a great listener. She's an encourager. She knows when to push, not only her students, but her coworkers. She knows when to encourage us and push us to do more than we think we can do. She's a great listener. She's a team player. At the same time, she's a phenomenal leader. She knows when to lead and when to be in the team. But the most important quality I have on this list is she's a friend. And I couldn't be prouder of you, Randy. Enjoy all this recognition because you truly deserve it.
Hi, I'm John Geyer, and I'm the district administrator at the School District of Neilsville. The greatest thing that I have ever done in my administrative career was to hire Randy Stanley. When Randy Stanley was announced as the winner of this outstanding award, we posted it on our Facebook page. That post got more likes, loves, and shares than any other post we have ever put out on our Facebook page. That tells you a lot about the respect that Randy Stanley has in our district. There are many teachers who help mold the minds of our kids every day, but there are a few that also reach the hearts and the souls of the kids that they teach, and they are true inspirations to those kids. Every student that leaves Randy Stanley's classroom believes that they can achieve their dreams. and that is the greatest educational achievement that you could ever hope for as a teacher. Randy is tremendously deserving of this award and many more. She touches the hearts and the souls of the kids that she teaches and the people that she works with. I couldn't be more proud of Randy, and she, again, is tremendously deserving of this outstanding award. So thank you for recognizing her for all that she does.
My name is Craig Anderson Ruskin, and it's my privilege to be the high school principal for the school district of Neillsville. I've known Randy Stanley for the last 10 years that I've been the high school principal here at Neillsville. And I cannot think of another educator, quite honestly, maybe in my entire 24-year career, that I think is more deserving of this public recognition as a Crystal Apple Award recipient than Randy Stanley. Randy is one of the most, at least I have found her to be one of the most intelligent, hardest working, dedicated, and down-to-earth, humble educators that I've ever met. And I think that's really what sets her apart. Students and staff, and quite honestly, I believe people in our greater school community look at the work that Mrs. Stanley does, and they are inspired. I mentioned that word humble. She views something like the Crystal Apple Award as something she's honestly not worthy of. That's just how she is. She views education as, I think, a calling in what she was meant to do. And how can a person be honored for the work that they just believe needs to be done? That's part of what makes her so great. I think that students and our staff and our community look at Randy and think, this is a person that I could totally relate to. This is a person that I want to communicate with. This is somebody that I want my children to learn from. The Crystal Apple Award is an outstanding program. Thank you to Mackie for hosting and putting this on. This award, I think, is something that people like Randy Stanley, it was meant for people like her. People that are truly dedicated to making a difference in the lives of school-age children. And Randy has been doing this for a long time, and we are truly blessed to have her a part of the school district of Neillsville family. So, Mrs. Stanley, this is for you. You certainly deserve it. Our most sincere congratulations to you on this honor. We're very proud of you.
Well, high praise from a Hall of Fame coach and from Craig, who I think that was actually the most excited I've ever seen Craig. So that was kind of nice to see. From our newest member of the Crystal Apple family, Randy Stanley from Neillsville. Yeah.
Thank you all for coming to this evening to honor education and for all those who work within it. I would like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for this honor and the work that they are doing to support the hard work that educators do. I would also like to thank my colleagues, past and present, Mrs. Backus, Mr. Waters, Mr. Volkman, Mrs. Anderson, Mr. Dickinson, Mr. Brummer, who are all able to attend with me this evening. I'm incredibly blessed to work in a school system where colleagues learn together and support each other in our craft. I have been incredibly fortunate to have school administrators, Mr. Geyer, Mrs. Kunze, Mr. Anderson, who encourage the work of my colleagues and I. The community of Neillsville has embraced my teaching as well, and the support of my students and their families is truly a gift in my life. I also need to thank my daughter, Seda, who is here, as she puts up with my school discussions every evening and is always willing to work on her homework while I work on mine. Although I teach and speak every single day, I am not a professional speaker by any sense of the word. As I paralleled over the concept of having to write this speech, I looked for inspiration. I Googled quotes, I watched inspirational speakers, and finally decided that if I really needed inspiration, I should look where I always find it, and that's with my students. So I asked my students for advice. They wrote note cards with ideas. They spoke to me directly. They wrote quotes and topics that I should talk about. And as always, they had much to say. And many students had great advice. Some gave advice on how for me to stay calm. Like Drew, who said, "Mrs. Stanley, just pretend you're talking to us." Some wanted me to share advice for other teachers, like Caitlin, who said, "Always look at every kid, no matter if they're good or misbehaving, smart or stuck. Always look at them as if they're a rocket scientist and keep reaching out to them." Or Noble, who said, "Teach your students so they learn, not because it's your job." And Dane, who quoted Sirius Black from the famous Harry Potter films, "We all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are." Dane ended with, "Try to show the light inside you and get your students to do the same." But one student said out loud to me, "Mrs. Stanley, why are you a teacher? Why didn't you become a doctor? You teach anatomy, right?" Apparently teaching the skeletal system makes you a qualified surgeon, at least for my students. I'm not really sure. But I've been asked this question many, many times over my years of teaching, and usually the students don't want a very long answer. So I say something simple but true. I love high school students. I love learning, and I love science. This is the best occupation I can have that incorporates all three. But you are a captive audience for at least 3 more minutes. So you're lucky enough to get my long answer. And I think I can speak for all my colleagues in this room who are amazing educators when I say this. We are teachers. I say that proudly as it defines us. It is not our job or what we get paid for, but it is more the core sense of our being. We are teachers because we love to help students learn. We are teachers because it gives us the privilege of making a connection with every kid in our class. And sometimes that takes a very long time. We teach because the perseverance and persistence with kindness of a teacher will help every kid be successful. We teach because the beauty and complexity of our topic parallels life. We are teachers because helping a student realize that they could learn and understand a complicated process and excel at it is a beautiful sight. We are teachers because we can make difficult concepts understandable so that our students can comprehend the world around them. We are teachers because we know that we can help any student understand how their brain works to learn more. We teach because we love our students. We love helping them learn, and seeing them every day is inspiring. I personally feel incredibly blessed to be able to teach, and thankful my students are willing to learn with me. I'm a teacher because it is who I am. It is truly the best part of me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Randy. I would now like to invite Mackey President Scott Larson back to the podium to share some closing remarks. Welcome, Scott Larson.
Greetings again, and as we get close to closing out this evening's recognitions, I'd like to take this moment for these closing comments to add a little iteration to the activities of recognizing excellence in education and why it's so important to not only the Chamber Foundation, but more importantly our business members and the business community as a whole. Again, the Marshfield Area Chamber Foundation, Mackey and its business members, again, are proud to promote events such as Crystal Apple Awards. It goes to showcase the passion that you as teachers show towards your students and your profession. It's also a passion that business has towards its workforce, as that's a means to an end to their success as a business. During these challenging times when economic conditions went from great to poor to better in a matter of just a few months, one issue continued to be a challenge for business. and that challenge was and is workforce. Whether it was maintaining a safe workforce through a pandemic, or it's finding the necessary workers to meet the growth demands, engaging with our education partners, both K-12 and post-secondary, remains an important method to address this challenge. Again, industry actively engages with the K-12 sector through many workforce development programs offered particularly through the Chamber and the Chamber Foundation. Programs such as Reality Store, Construction Day, Youth Apprenticeship, Health Career Connections, and Youth Apprenticeship. All these programs in the business and the Chamber are still interested in developing, and yet the Chamber is still interested in developing more opportunities. One such opportunity is our Career Expo, which unfortunately had to be postponed due to the pandemic, but now has been rescheduled to 2022. We're excited about this new event because it will offer sophomores the opportunity to explore their career interests through further hands-on activities. Another goal of the event will be to jumpstart discussions of job and youth apprenticeship opportunities, or to further explore industries such as healthcare, or participating in Health Career Connections, or the other career clusters found in the Youth Apprenticeship Program. Again, on behalf of the business community, I want to express the desire and the need to be interactive with education. By helping education better understand the skills needed by industry, to help create a quality learning environment, and to encourage the utilization of new technologies used by industry. We appreciate your commitment to quality education, and we encourage you to continue to innovate and excel. As this is second nature to industry, we must constantly change to meet demands of the marketplace. Supported by a high-achieving education system, the sky's the limit for our students, our businesses, and our economy. And we challenge you to think outside the traditional education models. And so with that, keep up the great work, and we'll see you again next year. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Scott. Now, before we conclude this evening, a few others who deserve some recognition. Special thanks to the Crystal Apple Committee, Carmen Waller, Dr. Deb Zador-North, and Debbie Bauer, Mackey Program Director. Special thanks to Mackey's Karen Isaacson, who, did most of the work on those mediocre videos we got to watch tonight. Yeah, great job. And not easy. And Debbie Bauer, Mackey's Program Director. Thank them for all their work in coordinating this event. Let's hear it for Debbie and for Karen. Yes, great job. And if I could now, I will now hand out the Crystal Mackey Program Director Award. We've got to take a moment here to recognize Debbie Bauer, who is retiring. I think tonight, right, is her last official in-person event as Mackey Program Director after, 50-some years? 60? No, 20-something, right? I need to recognize Debbie Bauer. She has been a tremendous behind-the-scenes, even on-the-scene asset for this program for all 18 years. Debbie, you are going to be missed. We thank you, and come back and see us next year. Let's hear it for Debbie Bauer. Debbie, well done. Well done. Finally, we would like to thank the 2021 school partners again in this program. Again, without your vision, without your support, we simply would not be here year in and year out. We appreciate all you guys do for our kids, for our future workforce. On behalf of the Marshfield Area Chamber Foundation, thank you for joining us tonight. It's tough to take find a night off. Our schedules are crazy, so this means a lot to us that you came and shared this with us, and for celebrating the excellence of education here in central Wisconsin. Now, how about one final round of applause for those Crystal Apple teachers and teachers of distinction. Let's give them a round of applause. And lastly, we know it's been a very stressful year, right? So on your tables are Apple stress balls. Take those with you and use them. Don't throw them yet. Okay. Take the stress apples. Do not take the name tags. Leave those on the registration table just outside the door. A couple other things you need to do is have a good night, drive safe, and come back and see us again next year. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Crystal Apple winners and teachers of distinction, the boxes for your awards are up here, so you can package them up and take them home safely.